Here's your wrestling news for May 8th, 2022. And your headlines for today include: major plan for Roman Reigns reportedly delayed due to lack of interest. Released WWE superstar makes surprise return at Impact Wrestling under siege. Drew McIntyre and RK-Bro broke character and danced with Seth Rollins after SmackDown went off air. Tammy Lynn Sytch is out of jail after manslaughter arrest. Call for WWE to remove Sonny from Hall of Fame. Friend of Bray Wyatt would not be surprised if he never wrestled again. John Cena signs with major talent agency. Josh Alexander involved in car wreck. Say hi to your wife for me. Chris Jericho claims to have filed a restraining order against popular AEW star. Evil Uno addresses Stu Grayson's AEW exit, and more. We are kicking off today with Roman Reigns, who remains on top of the entire WWE. Tonight, Reigns will team with the Usos to face RK-Bro and Drew McIntyre in a rare six-man tag match at a premium live event for the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Given the fans at first thought Reigns would defend against Shinsuke Nakamura and later believed that it would be Reigns-McIntyre one-on-one, the decision to have a six-man tag seems odd, but WWE has its reasons. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE believes that there's been a lack of interest right now in a Reigns-McIntyre feud, and they don't want to waste such a massive program for minimal returns. It was added that fans can expect their storyline to really get going this summer, but that despite McIntyre losing a series of title matches to Reigns at WWE live events, this doesn't mean they'll face one-on-one at TV. 4 weeks after Reigns' biggest victory ever, WWE has to be extra careful with the head of the table, and while McIntyre will get his shot one day, it won't be tonight at WrestleMania Backlash. Over to Impact Wrestling now, as last night's Under Siege was a huge event for the company and also saw a huge return. During the show, Mia Yim made her return, earning an ovation from the crowd at the event as she confronted Deonna Purrazzo. Despite previously working as Jade at Impact, Yim returned under her original name and the one the fans most associate with her given her time in WWE. After the event, an update from Fightful confirmed that her return was not a one-off and that she signed a new deal with the promotion. This return comes 6 months after her release from WWE in November 2021 and just over 1 month after her in-ring return, where she defeated fellow WWE alum Athena at a WrestleCon show. A former Impact Knockouts champion and Queen of the Knockouts winner, Yim has already achieved plenty as part of the promotion, and she'll now have the chance to do much more after returning at Under Siege. Now, after this week's SmackDown went off the air, Seth Rollins appeared to face Cody Rhodes, but had some fun on his way to the ring. Rollins made his entrance when RK-Bro and Drew McIntyre were heading to the back, as they had been part of the main event segment on SmackDown, and the four had a dance together to the Architects' music. While things were very serious for McIntyre and RK-Bro ahead of tonight's six-man tag with the Bloodline, the three were able to cut loose with Rollins after the cameras stopped rolling, making for a hilarious moment for the crowd who'd stuck around after the show. This week, Tammy Sytch was charged with a total 9 felonies related to the 3-vehicle accident in March that killed 75-year-old man Julian Lasseter. The courts had been waiting on a toxicology report to come back before deciding what to charge the disgraced WWE Hall of Famer with, and we now know more about her state she was in at the time of the crash. According to News Daytona Beach, police who tested Sytch's blood alcohol level found that she was in no condition to drive. As they report, Sytch was under investigation by the Ormond Beach Police Department following a crash in March that claimed the life of Julian Lasseter. Investigators obtained a warrant shortly after the crash to test Sytch's blood and found her blood alcohol content level to be .280, 3.5 times over the legal limit. Sytch was evidently not in the right state to be operating a vehicle, and this will no doubt come up during her trial. This is the latest in a long line of legal issues for Sytch, and we'll continue to follow this case as further updates come out. After police moved forward with charging her with 9 felonies, including DUI manslaughter, the former WWF diva was arrested but didn't spend long behind bars. It's been confirmed that around 12:14 p.m. local time in Florida, Sytch's $275,000 bond was posted, meaning she was free to return to her home. In addition to the DUI manslaughter charge, Sytch has also been charged with driving with a suspended or revoked license causing death or serious injury, and 7 counts of DUI causing damage to a person or property. We're not quite sure where Sytch got the money, but for now, she's a free woman, but this ordeal is far from over for the WWE Hall of Famer. If found guilty of the manslaughter charge, Sytch could face up to 30 years in prison, and now a name from wrestling's past are calling on WWE to take action themselves. On Twitter, Bill DeMott called on WWE to permanently remove Sytch from the Hall of Fame, saying that the original WWF diva has a repeat offender mentality. Sytch was inducted as part of the 2011 class alongside Shawn Michaels, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and the Road Warriors, and it's saying something when DeMott, who's no stranger to controversy himself, is taking the moral high ground. If WWE does remove her from the Hall of Fame, they probably won't make it public, as fans only learned that Hulk Hogan had been removed when he was reinstated in 2018. But no matter what, don't expect any reference to the controversial Sunny on WWE TV. In July 2021, WWE chose to release Bray Wyatt, ending the career of one of the company's most popular characters at the time. Wyatt's last match with WWE and most recent match to date was over a year ago at WrestleMania 37, as the former Universal Champion has kept busy with a movie project but has insisted that he will one day wrestle again. Wyatt may be saying he'll return to the ring, but those closest to him aren't so sure, as when one source close to Bray spoke this week, they said that Wyatt may never wrestle again. He's very good with his money. I wouldn't be surprised if he never came back to wrestling. At the time of his release, it was reported that Wyatt was earning $4 million a year with WWE, and though fans would love to see him reemerge in another promotion, Wyatt will be more than comfortable if he never wrestles again. Since leaving the ring, John Cena has established himself as a star in Hollywood, but now the 16-time WWE World Champion has made a major change. According to Deadline, Cena has signed with WME Agency, one of the oldest and most established talent agencies in the world, and this comes just one day after his longtime agent Dan Bain left ICM Partners to start his own management firm. Now with WME, Cena shares his new agency with The Rock, meaning the agency will have to make some tough decisions when deciding which muscle-bound former wrestler to push for some of Hollywood's biggest projects. Over to Impact Wrestling now, as Josh Alexander was involved in a car crash earlier this week. On Twitter, the Impact World Champion shared a video of his car, which had been heavily damaged on the front of the vehicle. In the caption, Alexander said how it's scary incidents like these that remind him why he tells those he cares about that he loves them, adding that inches and seconds saved him from what could have been a very grisly fate. It seems that Alexander wasn't the only one in the car during the accident, as he said that everyone's fine, seemingly stating that others were in the car but are thankfully okay. A car accident is a scary ordeal no matter if you're the Impact Wrestling World Champion, and we're glad that the Canadian wrestler was okay after this week's incident. Now, Chris Jericho has made it clear in AEW that he's no fan of Eddie Kingston, having been at war with the Mad King since Revolution 2022. Now, Jericho has turned his sights on Kingston's movie taste, as when Kingston said that 2011's The Goon is a great movie, Jericho pounced, saying Eddie would like it since he's a goon himself. Jericho went on to tell Kingston to stay home, saying he's filed a restraining order against him, and told the Mad King to say hi to his wife for him. Funnily enough, it was the WWF character The Goon, which Vince McMahon had once planned for Jericho in the mid-90s, a pitched idea Y2J wisely turned down at the time, and we'll have to see what these two do when Kingston returns from his recent fireball attack. And we're ending today with Stu Grayson, who confirmed his departure from AEW this week, making him the first of the Dark Order to leave the promotion. AEW haven't discussed Grayson's departure on screen, but on Twitter, Evil Uno spoke about his friend, calling him one of the best performers in the world. In his tweet confirming his departure, Grayson said he rejected a deal made by AEW, and whatever he does next, Evil Uno is confident it'll be a resounding success. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.